Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about how long does it take to remodel a home remodel. So one of the most common questions is, how long is it going to take to remodel my house, Carlos? So every time I get asked that question, I always answer that question with a question. In order for anybody to know how long things are going to take, well, there's a lot of things that we need to understand in order to give the answer. What is the scope of work? What are you going to be doing in the project? Like definite, what's the scope of work? And I don't mean I want to remodel my kitchen. Okay, we're going to remodel the kitchen, but are you going to be opening up walls? Are you going to be relocating things in the kitchen? Are you gonna be adding new lighting? Are you gonna be adding flooring? Are you gonna be doing custom work in the cabinets? Do you know what materials you're gonna be buying? Because all these things are going to essentially give you the time and how long it's gonna take. Not just to construction, but obviously to plan ahead and basically get everything that you need to start construction. Now the question will be like, will it be permits? One thing is to do a job with permits, another thing is to do a job without permits. Because when there's permits, now you have to call an inspection. Basically, you do the work, you call an inspection, and basically that day of inspections, you pretty much lose the day of inspections. You lose a day in the construction schedule because you have an inspection and you're not allowed to move to the next phase till you pass that inspection. Another thing that determines the time is how flexible is your budget? Because if your budget is very flexible and you're not tight on the budget, then we have more options to hire contractors with a bigger team. Now, if your budget is tight and you have very budgeted conscience, so now we have limit of vendors that are gonna be able to do the job, and maybe some of these people are not gonna be able to have 4 or 5 different people in their teams. Another question I will ask to know the time, are the materials you're gonna be choosing, are they gonna be local materials, or are they gonna be brought in from Italy, brought in from other places? That also might take time, which will determine how long it's gonna take. Another important question is, does the owner know exactly what they want? Can they make fast decisions? All this information is gonna basically determine how long a project is really gonna take. It is not just one thing to answer the question. It's a multiple things that depends on the whole project, the scope of work, clients, the owner's decisions, and so forth. And a factor to take into consideration, will the owner be living at the house when you're doing construction? One thing is doing construction, nobody's living at the house. Another thing is doing construction while people are living there. So that's also gonna take longer to basically perform, because every day after the shift is over, everything needs to be clean and organized and to make sure that the owners are comfortable. Another great question is, how's the weather gonna be? Nobody knows that, right? So that's also gonna depend in, can the guys go and work every day, or are they gonna have to miss certain days because of the weather don't allow them to work? Another thing to take into consideration is surprises. How many surprises are we gonna have during construction? When you're doing remodeling and you start demoing walls, there's always gonna be some kind of surprise that's gonna basically add days to the time, add days to the schedule. Now going back to the original question, how long is my home remodeling gonna take? I'm gonna give you an example. Basically a house that you have no associations, you don't have to work in a building, you have access, and homeowners are gonna be living in the house, and you're gonna be doing a full gut remodel. It could take, construction-wise, it could take anywhere between 4 to 6 months. Now, before you start construction, there's a period called the pre-construction phase, which is pulling the permits, getting everything ready, and that phase could take anywhere between 3 to 5 months. So overall, you're looking for a full home remodel of about 2,000, 3,000 square foot homes. You're looking at about a year that's gonna take from beginning to end. I hope this information is good for you guys and valuable. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's go.